Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video we're going to discuss the item levels that you should be for certain content, primarily focusing, well, entirely focusing on PvE for Season 3 of the War Within. So there are three main avenues of PvE gameplay in Season 3. We have Delves, Raids, and Mythic Plus. We also have the Tazavesh hard mode dungeon, which is something that is a little bit unique. So you will have the ability to do the Tazavesh, but as a mega dungeon, so like all the bosses, which is something very, very unique and different. That will be, I think, revamped and coming out shortly. I don't think it's currently out. But yeah, so there's a couple of very interesting ones, but we'll talk about everything sequentially now. So let's talk firstly about raiding. So raiding is broken up into kind of three main sections. You have your LFR, okay, which is very easily accessible. Not going to go through your item requirements there. Then we're going to talk about your main difficulties, being normal, heroic, and mythic. So if we look at the Mana Forge raid, you will see the gear that drops. So for example, on normal, you can see it drops 684. Now very clearly, you should not be 684 gear, otherwise it's pointless doing normal. Ideally for normal, depending on obviously what class you are, where you are in your journey, you're going to want to ideally be at around about 675, 676. This means when you get upgrades, you'll be able to get some decent ones. Your 691s, your champion gear, your weekly vault will give you good upgrades. You can upgrade these with the chests and abilities you get. So you need to be in around about the late 670s. For heroic rating, you will definitely need to be in the lower 690s. Generally, probably where I am right now, 696 being a good entry point. It may sound weird to say that you need to be at 696, but heroic level gear drops to about 701. Okay, so it's still a sizable upgrade, and you're going to get items that push you even further. So yes, it's dropping at 697, so but you're 696. Remember, your 696 can be a whole bunch of champion gear. This is heroic level gear, as well as remember that the final bosses are going to be dropping 704 pieces and 704 set items, and some even 710. So that'll be it. And then obviously for your mythic level, you're going to need to pretty much be around about your late 700s. So 709, 708, almost at 710 realistically. Probably your low 700s for certain classes, 705 onwards. For Mythic Plus, things are more of a sliding scale. So when it comes to Mythic Plus, understand that it's an incremental gain from each Mythic Plus that you do. So if you go to 3, to 4, to 5, to 6, etc., it starts to slowly pick up. A really good kind of entry point is probably to be at around about the 680s to kind of enter the Mythic Plus. You then want to be, generally speaking, at around about 694, 695, 696 to do around about your plus 5s, plus 6s. You'll find them challenging, but you'll be able to do them. And then you'll probably want to be in the 700s to take on anything greater than a plus 7. That would be my suggestions in terms of your quality of gear. Obviously, it depends on class, but yeah, that's my genuine suggestion. Remember, you also have to base things based on what you get from your Great Vault as well. Remember, your gearing speed will be determined by how many runs you do, yes, but ultimately at the end of the day, for most players, the Great Vault represents the biggest upgrade they'll get during a week. So yeah, you always kind of base it based on your Great Vault rewards. Last but not least, we'll talk a little bit about delving, and then I'll just mention the Tazavesh hard mode dungeon. So delving is very different. So like delving, for example, you can see here we get a 694 from a tier 11, which is great. That's a hero piece of gear. You can also get Gilded Crests. It drops relatively high gear, but on the lower side of the spectrum. So like it drops hero gear, which is the same as, you know, almost heroic rating, but it drops at like a lower tier at hero level 1 out of 6. And then the runes only drop by repeating the content. Delves, you don't have to be remotely close to this. I would say for tanks, you can probably clear tier 11 delves at around about 680. I would say for DPS, depending on who you are probably looking at the later 680s for clearing tier 11, and once you're in the 690s on any class, you're probably good to go for tier 11. But you can start delving at like 640, 650 and having a fairly decent time, even clearing things like tier 7, tier 8 to start earning rewards. Last thing I want to mention is the Tazavesh hard mode. Tazavesh hard mode is, like I mentioned earlier, the very special dungeon. So the dungeon where you're going to take on the entirety of Tazavesh in one go. It's pretty rough. Here you're probably looking at being in your 700s to take it on. Because of the constraints and the gated rewards, it's probably going to be where you're probably best aligning yourself. But that's everything you need to know about item levels. Hopefully it's helped you guys out and you'll be able to kind of take a look and get a good feel for where you need to be for season 3. That's it from me. See you guys next time. Good day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft